Getting ready to evacuate. She says the mood there is calm. John?
All right, Abby Tanton for us this afternoon with that. Abby, thanks very much. Fears of an all-out Russian war are front and center in the presidential race here in the United States. John McCain delivered a new statement today about the fighting while campaigning in Pennsylvania. Barack Obama remains on vacation in Hawaii. Let's bring in CNN's Ed Henry now. And Ed, this conflict would seem to present a political opportunity for Senator McCain. I've been going through his statement here. It's a full 2 pages, including an awful lot of history, trying to, I guess, show that he has got the foreign policy credentials to take the Oval Office.
That's absolutely right, John. In fact, with those Russian tanks, as you noted, rolling deeper and deeper into Georgia, John McCain is really trying to seize upon this issue to show he's better ready to be commander-in-chief.
5 years, who will be there.
Appearing in Pennsylvania with Tom Ridge, the former Homeland Security Secretary, John McCain tried to showcase his own foreign policy credentials by taking a harder line than President Bush on Russia's military advance into Georgia.
The United States and our allies should continue efforts to bring a resolution before the United Nations Security Council condemning Russian aggression.
With Barack Obama vacationing in Hawaii, McCain has the stage to himself to try and show he has the experience to handle a crisis, and claim he was ahead of the curve months ago when he started denouncing Russian leader Vladimir Putin's anti-democratic moves.
We must remind Russia's leaders that the benefits they enjoy from being part of the civilized world require their respect for the values, stability, and peace of the world.
Obama has been getting briefings on the situation in Georgia and spoke out Friday, though he was not quite as forceful in denouncing Russia.
I wholeheartedly condemn the violation of Georgia's sovereignty. I think it is important at this point for all sides to show restraint and to stop this armed conflict.
McCain's offensive harkens back to the 3 a.m. ad Hillary Clinton ran in the Democratic primaries to suggest Obama was not up to the job.
It's 3 a.m. and your children are safe and asleep. But there's a phone in the White House and it's ringing. Who do you want answering the phone?
The ad didn't work for Clinton, but the McCain camp thinks the issue may resonate more in the general election with independent voters concerned about security. Though McCain's claim to have a handle on national security could be slightly undermined by mispronouncing the name of Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili 3 times.
Mikhail Saakashvili, President Saakashvili, President Saakashvili.
Now, an ABC News Washington Post poll found last month that when asked who they would trust more in an unforeseen crisis, 50% said John McCain, 41% said Barack Obama. You can see there are a 9-point spread for John McCain, but perhaps not as big as one might expect because of those credentials. When asked who they trust more on the issue of the economy, Barack Obama got 54%, while John McCain got 35%. So a 19-point spread there for the Democrat, as you can see, on who the American people, who they trust more to handle the economy. But still, John McCain pushing ahead on this issue, John.
And back on Georgia and President Saakashvili there, and there's nothing in John McCain's statement here about the possibility of backing up words with U.S. military force. So is it just a matter of who's talking tougher here?
Absolutely. It's really more about the rhetoric because, as you know, neither candidate really can do very much while they're both U.S. senators. It's really up to the President of the United States. It's more about trying to posture, trying to show with some tough language who can get out front on this issue. And in John McCain's case, he's trying to say that he's been talking about this long before the crisis in Georgia. For many months now, he's been pressing Vladimir Putin when he was president, now as prime minister, saying there have been too many moves, anti-democratic moves, if you will, John.
All right. Ed Henry for us this afternoon from Washington. Ed, thanks very much. Time now for the Cafferty File. Jack Cafferty joins us. We take a little bit of a turn here this afternoon to John Edwards.
Yes, let's get back to something tawdry. John Edwards, the latest in a long line of politicians who've cheated on their wives, and without exception, they all thought they could get away with it.
The presidential campaign is New Mexico's Democratic Governor Bill Richardson. He's in Fort Lauderdale this afternoon. Governor, it's great to see you. You said over the weekend that the key to resolving a crisis like this, and something that Senator Obama would pursue if he were president, is better relations with Russia, to be able to talk to them about things like this. But, I mean, are they at the point now where talking would help? I'm wondering if by the time that Senator Obama or President Obama then got a chance to talk with President or Prime Minister Putin or President Medvedev, that they would already be taking over the country.
Well, the point that I was making, John, is that
the American-Russian relationship is at a very low ebb. We have no leverage over it. We have disrespect. Russia is taking this action apparently in violation of what we want, NATO wants, the European Union wants. My point is that President Obama will have a good, strong, dialogue-oriented relationship with Russia where these kind of situations would not occur. And what Senator Obama has said is that we need diplomacy. We need to go to the UN Security Council for a ceasefire. We need to get access to humanitarian efforts in the region. We have to talk to the European Union that is meeting shortly to put some leverage on Russia. We need to engage Europe and NATO. NATO, I think, can be an important player here. That was the point that I was making, John, that Obama, I believe, is not rashly going to go out and make threats. I saw Senator McCain saying that he wants to expel Russia from the G8, the industrialized nations. Well, that's only going to make matters worse. That's to the right of President Bush. Right. Well, he doesn't want to do that.
Well, let's take a look at Prime Minister Putin here, who for all intents and purposes appears to be pulling a lot of the strings here and what's going on. He's a former expert KGB operative, 2 terms as Russian president, has managed to hang on to power despite term limits, now becoming a very powerful prime minister. Does Senator Obama, with 3.5 years in the U.S. Senate, have what it takes to go up against this guy?
Well, the answer is yes, because he has the kind of judgment, he has the advisors, he has the knowledge internationally that what is key here is to build relationships, to build international support for our goals. And what Obama is saying, I believe, is what is needed.
Do you really
multilateral pressure on...
Do you really believe, Governor...
John, get multi...
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say, do you really believe that Senator Obama could talk Vladimir Putin out of what he's doing?
Well, the reality is that Vladimir Putin and George Bush have zero relationship right now. They are violating what international norms today. And what you are seeing is what Russia's doing is indefensible. The issue is, what do you do about it? And what Obama has said is, one, yes, you've got to rebuild the Russian relationship, but you also have to insist that this not happen again and use the levers of NATO, the European Union, economic sanctions, possibly a no-fly zone in the region, to really assert international norms into the situation. Right now, it looks like Russia is moving ahead and maybe even do the indefensible, which is attack civilian targets, go into the capital. We need the full pressure of the international community to help us with Russia, and because our standing in the world is so low and so weak, we're not able to do this. So President Obama, who would build relationships with NATO, with Europe, in his successful trip in the region, will be able to bring that leverage on Russia.
Governor, the Denver Post recently said that Senator Obama should pick you as his